In this video, I'm doing a commentary on a match between Viktor Ashkenazi and Petko Kostadinov from the 2023 Chicago Open, the Markowitz Masters event. It's an 11-point match. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please place in the comments what you'd like to see in upcoming videos and I'll work on that. Thank you to Bill Riles and Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video. They're playing on a beautiful Bob Zavarol board. If you haven't seen one of those, definitely recommend it. One of the most beautiful boards I've seen. I know Bob personally. He's been doing it for a very long time. So Viktor is playing the white checkers at the top and Petko the red checkers at the bottom, two of the world's best players. Again, we have the XG feed on the left, the player cam on the upper left, the scores on the right, and the pip count on the upper right and lower right. I hope you enjoy. And they shake hands, and here we go. Chicago Open tournament is run by Rory Pascar. It's an outstanding tournament. Petko opens with a 5-3, makes his 3-point. Now Viktor rolls a 4-1, brings one down, 13-9, and splits his back checkers. Now Petko rolls a 6-5, runs his back checker. (4-1) again for Viktor. This time he makes his 5-point. Petko's roll is cocked. Another 5-3 for Petko. He's already made his 3-point. He can bring a spare down from his midpoint, unstacking it to his 8-point, providing a spare, or he can run all the way, which turns out to be the best play on XG. He's ahead by 9 pips before and 17 pips after, so that makes sense. It also duplicates the 4-3 that would anchor on the other side. And Viktor rolls a 4-2. It also duplicates the 4-2 that would have made the 4-point. So he hits with the 4 and advances one of the back checkers from 23 to 21. Now Petko rolls a 4-3 from the bar, comes in with a 3, and he's looking to possibly hit or continue and come out to his 18-point. If he does hit, it does give him a tempo, prevents Viktor from likely pointing on his head, but it does strip his 8-point, leave 2 blots on his side. That's what he does. Now Viktor is considering doubling here. Does have a lot of offensive potential. Looks like it's not quite a double on XG. He's taking a picture of it. A lot of people I see take pictures of their positions. It's a good idea, but only if you go look at the analysis later. I know people that just take pictures and they never look at it. Alright, Viktor decides to roll, and he rolls a 3-2, comes in with the 2, and hits with the 3. Now Petko's on the bar against the 2-point board. He rolls a 6-4, forced to come in with a 4, and he can hit with the 6. And that's what he does. Viktor's on the bar now, and he rolls a 4-1. So he comes in with the ace and hits on the 17-point with a 4. Now Petko's on the bar again. He rolls a 4-1, comes in with the 4, and advances 16 to 15 with the 1. 4-2 for Viktor. He's able to secure his 17-point anchor with 23 to 17. Petko rolls a 3-1. He's looking at possibly making the 5-point. Viktor's joking, but he doesn't have a checker on his 8-point. So he just plays 15 to 11. 3-1 for Viktor. He's able to hit and continue. Puts a checker on the bar, 3 checkers back for Petko. Comes in with a 6-1 from the bar, comes in with the 1, unstacks, his midpoint. Looks like that's close to coming out, even though he's so far behind in the race. Now Victor's taking another picture. I will put a link to Point Backgammon. I highly recommend checking out their videos. They have many videos. Outstanding quality. Victor rolls a 4-2 and he can hit 24-18, sends a fourth checker back for Petko. Petko rolls a 5-1 from the bar, comes in with the 1, and he's able to hit 13-8 with the 5. Now Victor's on the bar. He's looking at possibly doubling from the bar, but no. He rolls a 4-2. He comes in with the 4 and plays 18-16 with the 2. Now Petko is not on the bar. He rolls a 5-3, comes down, makes his 8-point, and he could just move his one of the back checkers up to the higher anchor. Doesn't really need that back anchor. He can keep that as a one checker there as a goalkeeper. That's what he does. Victor rolls a 4-2. Can't move his back checker. (16-10). Does give 6s to hit and 4s and 2s. That was one of the advantages of advancing one of the back checkers from the lower anchor to the higher anchor. Now 6-5. He's able to hit with the 6 and probably continue with the 5. Now double 2 for Victor. Comes in, makes the anchor, and brings 2 down to make his 11-point, 13-11. 6-4 for Petko. He plays 10-6. He's looking to play 24-18. That's what he does. It's not a great roll. He's going back. He's thinking about his options. He's thinking about possibly playing 13-7. And that's what he does. Now there's a confusion about where it started. Victor thinks it's there, but it actually did start on the 10-point. So they're going to go through this. I'll try to forward the video a little bit. They're going to go check it on the camera. And they are confirming it on the feed. We have someone from the tournament committee helping with that, and they are confirming that, and they did confirm it. So that was the original position, and they continue. 4-1 for Victor. He makes his bar point on head, putting another checker on the bar. And Petko rolls a 6-1 from the bar, forced to come in with the 1 and plays 13-7. Now Victor, he's taking a picture to see if he should double. He doubles. Petko takes right away. If you do take pictures, it should be on your clock. 5-3, he hits and continues. And you should take it on your phone because it's fast. Petko dances with a 6-5. Victor has the initiative. He rolls a 5-2. Comes out with the 5. And is he going to continue? Yes, he is. Petko comes in with a 4-1, anchors on the 24 point, making 2 anchors, and plays 8-4. Now Victor has a 4-3, comes and makes his 10 point. That blocks the 6s from both anchors. With a 5-1, Petko comes down 13-8, unstacks his 6 point with 6-5. Victor rolls a 4-3. He wants to clear his midpoint, and he can't leave that ace shot like that, duplicating the aces for Petko. That's what he does. Now with the 6-1. He can hit, but he can't cover. He just comes down 13-7, 6-5. Good play by Petko. That's the right play. Victor rolls a double 2. Now he's just trying to bring his checkers home safely, trying to find out what's the best way to do that. In these types of positions, you want to maintain the flexibility. You see the checkers on his 10 point are blocked by the anchor, the higher anchor, so 6s are going to be hard to play. Victor's going to want to clear that point, his 10 point, in the near future. He's looking at possibly doing it now, but then he's going to want to make his inner board points as well to just bring everything home safely. You learn a lot about bringing checkers home when you study back games like this. This is a 1-4 back game, but he has poor timing, only 37 pip racing deficit. You want more like 80 for a good back game. Now 5-3 for Petko. He makes his 4 point and plays 8-3. Victor rolls a double 4. So he has a couple of options here. He can play 10-2 all the way, clearing his 10 point, or he can make his 2 point with 2 from his 6 point and make his 3 point with 2 from his 7, and that just fills in both gaps. So this fills in one gap but clears the 10 point, which is the hardest one to clear. So that's the part that he's going to do. Now he's looking to see if he's going to play 2 off his 10 point from 10-6 or 2 off his 7 point from 7-3. This does fill the gap, give him a lot of safe landing spots, but he's still going to have trouble clearing that. If he rolls a 6, he has to play 8-2. Now if he rolls a 6, he plays 8-2, but he doesn't have to worry about clearing the 10 point. So he does the right play. Petko rolls a 4-2. Plays 6-2. So you're going to want to save a 6, or he can kill his 6s. He saves a 6 by playing 3-1. Victor's trying to come home safely, 6-2, so the 6 is forced. This is what happens. And the 2 he'll probably play, 10-8. He has to leave a shot, so he might as well leave it on the point that he wants to clear anyway. Petko needs a 6 here. He doesn't get it. He rolls a 5-3. And if he plays on his side, he's just going to run out of timing. Looks like XG says it's best to run all the way. However, playing 6-1, 5-2 maintains all the checkers in play. He's looking at 8-5, 6-1. Let's see the plus-plus analysis for these. He's looking at 24-21, 8-3. This is a hard one. It's tough to know when you're supposed to abandon an anchor and when you're supposed to stay. Victor's not in a good position. I mean, Petko's not in a good position right now. This is one where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. He's looking at 24-21, 8-3, and that's what he does. Victor's on roll, trying to bring his checkers home. And Victor rolls a 4-1. Plays 10-6. Now with the 1. Looks like he can hit. Hitting is slightly better because Petko has 2 blots in his board. If Petko didn't have the 2 blots, if his checker on his 2 was on his checker on his 1 was on his 2, it would be clear to make the 8-7 play. But now Petko rolls a double 2, plays inside, clears a 6 point, plays 3-1, 4-1 for Victor. 7-3, 6-5. Doesn't want to hit now. Double 4. That's an anti-joker. It forces him to play 2 checkers to his ace point, killing those checkers. Now double 1. Makes his point, and if he plays 8-7, that duplicates his 4s, but you don't really want that. Better to leave him the 4-3. That's what he does correctly. Petko dances with 6-3, and now 6-1. Checkers on the 7 point are an inefficient place during the bear-in, but that's what he does. Petko comes in with a double 4. That's a good roll for him. That saves a lot of gammons. Brings 2 checkers out. Double 2 for Victor. Brings in 2 checkers. Bears off 2 checkers. Trying to win a gammon. Petko rolls a 3-1. He's going to want a crossover. Does that. 6-5 for Victor. He bears off 2 checkers. 4-1 for Petko. Just brings it down. 6-2. Leaves a shot. The 6 is forced, and he bears off another checker with the 2. Petko's looking for a 2 here. No, he gets a 4-1. Bears in a checker to a 6 point and plays 11-10. 6-1 for Victor. Bears off 2 more checkers, getting closer to a gammon. Petko rolls a double 3. That saves some gammons. Plays all the way to his 9 point. Now Victor has 7 checkers left. 5 more crossovers for Petko. 4-1, he bears off a checker without hitting. Petko wants something big. That's big. That comes all the way to a 6 point, and then he comes in. Good. That looks like he's going to save the gammon. Unless now he rolls. Victor rolls a double 5 himself, but 6-2 saves the gammon. Now Victor's ahead, 2-0 to 11, 9 away, 11 away. See that ace point scoreboard on the right hand side. I like that scoreboard a lot. It's very high quality. I have one of those myself. That's the one I use. High quality, compact, easy to read. 6-2 for Petko, opening game number 2. He splits his back checkers and comes down. Now with the 5-2. The hit and split is tied. In general, when the opponent splits with a 6 and you roll a 5-2, you want to hit and split. 6-1 from the bar for Petko. He hits and secures the 18-point anchor. Victor rolls a 6-3 from the bar, anchors on his 22, and plays 24 to 18. Petko's on roll, double one. So he plays 8-7, 6-5 twice, and then just cleans up the blot. 5-4 from the bar for Victor, comes in with a 4 and plays 13 to 8. Petko is looking at possibly doubling. Small no double. He does roll a double one. Points on head. Victor dances with a 6-5. Now Petko doubles and Victor immediately passes. It's almost too good to double. In a match, they don't play with the Jacobi rule, which states that you must turn the cube for gammons to count. In a match, gammons can count without the cube being turned. Petko opens with a 3-2, does the major split, 24-21, 13-11. Victor correctly hits with a 4-3. Petko comes in with a 5-2 from the bar, comes in with a 5 to the 20 point and makes his 11 point. Double one, good roll for Victor. He makes the rack, the 4, 5, and 6 points. Points on head and makes his 4 point. Great roll. Double two, good return. Comes in, makes his 4 point, and just advances one more checker. That was a good roll for Petko. Now double three. This is a good roll. He can't move his back checkers. He could make his bar point, making a solid 5 prime, and that's what he does. He doesn't hit with 8-2. Petko rolls a double 3 of his own. He can make his bar point, but here he wants to make his 5 point. He has a rack of his own now. Now another double 3. Again, he cannot move his back checkers. Here, he's looking 8-2 twice, so he's looking at that 5-2. Shifting, and now he's looking to see if he should remake his 5 point with 8-5 twice, or do the double shift 6-3 twice, putting 2 checkers on the bar against the 3-point board. But having this 1 checker on the bar against a 4-point board is even better. And he selects the correct play. Petko rolls a 5-3 from the bar, comes in with a 3, and just safely brings 1 checker down with 13 to 8 with a 5. Victor rolls a 4-2. He needs to get his back checkers moving, and he does with the split. And he can either continue or safety the checker on his 10 point with 10 to 6. He does safety the checker. Petko wants something good. Double one. Plays 8-7. Makes his bar point. Now he can shift and hit with 4-3 twice. Or he can go 6-4. Keep his solid 5 prime intact. I think that's a nice play. When you have a prime versus prime, the person with the longer prime is usually a favorite. And when you give that up, you break the prime. Makes it a lot easier for the opponent to escape. He doesn't love having that dilly builder on his 3 point, but at least he gets to keep the prime. So he secures the anchor and just plays 1 checker behind, 6-2. Petko rolls a double 5. That's a good roll. He escapes both back checkers, and he brings 2 down, 13 to 8. Little awkward to have two spares on that point. Victor rolls a double 1. Brings 2-1, and then 7-4 saves a 6 there. Victor's looking, Petko is looking to double. He's only 2 pips ahead in the race, but he has that nice 5 prime. Victor has a blot in his board. You see it's a small no double, but it's borderline. A lot of people wouldn't even think of doubling here. That's why these players are so good. I remember one time Falafel told me, if you're good at checker plays, you can become very good, but to become world class, you have to be really good at cube action. That's one of the hardest things. Deciding whether to double, whether to take, what to do. And he rolls another double 5. That's an anti-joker, but because it forces him to play to the other side. Double 3 for Victor. That's a good roll because he can advance that anchor. So now that anchor on his 19 point, White's 6 point, is controlling White's outfield. And with the other 2 3s, he can bring 2 down, or he can make his ace point. Looks like if he makes his ace point, he doesn't really have good 6s next. So I guess that's why I was wrong on the XG feed. 6-3 for Petko. He can play 2 off his 8 point. That's what he does. Victor's on roll. He rolls a 6-3. So 6. And he can continue with the other back checker, playing 19 to 16, or he can play 4-1. Looks like 4-1 is better because that controls White's checkers on his 8 point. Now White can play freely with a 6-1 or something like that. Or 5-1. He rolls a double 3. Comes all the way. That's a great roll for Petko. 6-5 for Victor. And he's too far behind in the race to take. Doesn't matter what he does. That's where he was. So that's the 6, that's the 5. That's legal. Now Petko has a big double, and with an 11 pip lead in the race, 73 to 84, it's a pass. Big pass. So now it's tied. 2-2. 9 away, 9 away. You notice on the Bob Zavarol boards, the points look thinner. They are. The base is a little bit thinner. It makes it look longer, and they go a little bit further out. They're really beautiful if you haven't played on one. 5-1, Victor splits. Petko responds with a 5-2. Coming down 13-8 and splitting his back checkers. Victor rolls a 6-1. He can make his bar point. Good roll. Petko replies with a double 1, making a 5 point and bar point. Victor rolls a double 2. So he can unstack his 6 point nicely, making his 4 point, and probably advance both back checkers. That's what he does. Five, 4 for Petko. He's looking at possibly running. He could point on head, or he can play 13 to 4. Pointing on head does make a 3-point board, but it makes a 3-point, whereas he'd rather have the 4-point. 13-4 does hit off the 4-point, but it slots it. It doesn't make it. So he does point on head. Victor's rolling from the bar. He rolls a 2-1. Would have liked to hit, but he can't. Comes in with the 2 and plays 8-7 with the 1. Now Petko rolls a 3-1. He can pick and pass, 7-4 hitting and continuing. In some countries, that's not legal. 6-2 from the bar. That's a Ray Fogerland. Victor comes in and hits. Petko rolls a 6-3 from the bar. He's forced to come in with a 3. And he can come out. That's a hard one to see because that leaves so many blots. 13-7 looks much more natural. 4-2 for Victor. He just comes out, makes a 17-point anchor. 4-1 for Petko. So he can make his 2-point. He wants to at least slot it with a 3-2, and the other half he can go 24-20. That looks like the right play, but they're pretty close on XG. Let's see the plus analysis. They're close. Guess you want to keep that spare. You're not that far behind in the race, so you want to kind of advance that back checker, hoping to make the 20-point anchor. You'd like to keep that spare on the 6-point to make the 4-point. Victor's on roll. It's actually a small no double. It's close, 10-pip lead in the race. He's looking to see what are his good rolls, what are his bad rolls. 2-1 would be nice to make that 4-point, make that 5-point. And it's not only what Victor rolls, it's what Petko rolls after that. He's taking that into consideration. So he rolls a 5-4. He doesn't double. Just 13-4. Petko's looking for something good. 2-1. Not very good. He advances the back checker and plays 7-6. Now looking at the cube again, Victor. This turns out to be not a double again. He rolls a 6-2. He'd like to clear his 17-point anchor. He cannot safely, so he just brings 2 down from the midpoint. Petko rolls a 4-1. Can't move his back checkers. He doesn't like playing 13-9, but 6-1 is worse. Now, an immediate double by Victor. XG shows that it's a small double. An easy take. Petko is down by 19 pips. However, he does have a lot of contact value with his midpoint and Victor's 17 point. Victor's going to have some trouble clearing that 17 point. In the meanwhile, if Petko can roll a 6 to pop out with one checker, that'll buy him some time to keep his midpoint and make it harder for Victor to clear that anchor. Additionally, Petko has a 4-2 board advantage, so he is a big favorite should there be a hitting exchange. You always need to think about the future. Zdeněk Zizka wrote a great book about looking forward and into the future. Have that book. I thought it was right here, but it's not. But those are the things you want to think about. Think about what's going to happen. So Petko takes, and Victor rolls a 5-1. He didn't have that ace shot, so that's a nice way of escaping. 5-4, comes in with the 5, and continues to the 16 point. Victor rolls a double 3. That's a good roll. He comes there and he's looking to possibly make his 5 point. That would be nice because it just fills in that gap. Gives some nice landing spots for the checkers on the 11 point. 5-2 for Petko. Just going to bring one down. 16-9. Victor rolls a double 5. Great roll. Brings in 4 checkers. Petko's roll is cocked. 4-3 for Petko. Brings 2 checkers down. Good roll for Victor. Brings in 3 checkers. He can play 6-4, but he goes a little more aggressive to try to get the gammon. He will leave a shot with a double 6. Petko rolls a 4-2, brings one out, and spreads his checkers with 9-7. 6-4. It's a good roll. He bears off a checker with the 6 and plays 6-2. 5-1 for Petko. Wants to come in perfectly, or he's going to try to make his 4 point. Going to make his 4 point. That'll win him some more games, but lose more gammons. 6-2. The 6 is forced, and he can take another checker off with the 2. That's what he does. He has no bad numbers in the immediate next roll. 3-1. So he comes in perfectly with the ace and plays 10-7. 5-2 for Victor. The 5 is forced, and the 2. He wants to clear a 6 point, so he prepares to do that. Victor rolls a 6-1, plays 18-12, 7-6. Victor has some decent gammon chances. Sorry, that was Petko. Now Victor rolls the 5-1. He's looking to possibly clear his 6 point. That's what he does. 2-1 for Petko, not a good roll. He's looking at the 2-1. That might save him some gammons, but it turns out not. Double 1 for Victor. Plays 3 from the 5 to the 4 and bears off a checker. 6-3, comes out with 1 and in perfectly with 9-6. Victor has some gammon chances, bears off 2 checkers with a 6-5. Petko wants to roll big. 6-4, that's big. He can play 16-6. Victor still has some gammon chances. 5-2, bears one off and plays 4-2. He does have extra checkers there. 5-2. 3-2. He runs. 6-5. Victor is able to take 2 checkers off. Now 6-4. Good roll. That'll save the gammon unless Victor rolls double 4 or better. No, he rolls a 5-2. That's Jin. Victor takes a 4-2 lead in the match. Victor is 7 away. Petko is 9 away. You see how they're playing. Both world-class players. Now in the next game, game 5, Victor opens with a 4-3, bringing 2 checkers down. Petko returns with a 5-4, hitting a checker. Double 3, good roll. Comes in, hits, and here you want to make the 3-point. You do want to make the 5-point, but not at the expense of leaving 3 blots in the outfield. Double 2, comes in, unstacks a 6-point by making his 4-point and brings a checker down from the midpoint. 3-1. He makes his 5-point. A lot of people instantly make the bar point, but it's better to make the 5-point. Double 3 now. So he can hit twice, but looks like the best play is to make the 5-point, so you have that rack and hit with 6-3. Looks nice hitting 1 checker from the other side and putting a 2nd on the bar, but you are outboarded 3-2. That's why it looks like it's better to just make the rack and hit loose. These are tough. Doubles are tough to play. Double 4. He dances. Now, Petko, I think he thinks it's a play on. It's too good. So he rolls a 6-4, plays 13-3, and Victor rolls a 4-1 from the bar, comes in with only 1 checker. An immediate double for Petko. He thought he was too good before. He's looking at it. Turns out to be a big pass, and that's what he does. So Petko gets a point. 3-4. Petko is 8 away. Victor 7 away. Petko rolls a 5-4, splitting his back checkers. 5-3. Victor correctly hits 13-5. A lot of people make their 3-point incorrectly. Petko rolls a 4-3 from the bar, comes in with a 3 and hits with a 4. Sending another checker back for Victor. Victor's on the bar with a 3-2. He can anchor, or he can come in with a 2 and hit loose. The anchor is better. That's what he does. 2-1 for Petko. He makes an anchor and unstacks with 6-5. Don't be afraid to do that early in the game. 6-4 for Victor. He hits 24-20 and 22-16. 4-2 from the bar. Comes in with a 2 and hits 13-9. Good reply. Victor's on the bar with a 2-1. He comes in and makes his 20-point anchor. That's the golden anchor. 6-1 for Petko. Can make his bar point. That's what he does. He still has a blot on his 9-point. 6-3 for Victor. Just runs to his 15-point. Petko is looking at a possible cube, but it's not close to a cube here. 6-1. He'll have to play behind. And 23-22. Double 6 for Victor. He'll be ahead in the race. makes his bar point, probably just come out to his 14 point. It does leave a direct 3 shot, but the 3 is duplicated to hit and cover. That's what he does. Petko rolls a 4-1. He cannot hit. He can cover his blot and just slot his 5 point. Or play like that, 8-3, without leaving a blot on the board. Please do let me know what you think of the new commentaries. I'm trying to do some new features, adding the XG feed. I transcribed the match myself, so I can add that XG feed. And we have the player cam. Victor rolls a 4-2. He can make his 4 point, but all he needs to do is just safety his blot. He's well ahead in the race. He can just play 15-13 and play behind, and that does unstack his 6 point. Making the 4 point also unstacks the 6 point. However, it strips the 8 point and leaves the blot on the 15 point. That's why it's an error on the plus analysis. Let's look at it on the plus analysis. Still an error, 52. He is looking at this play. It's just not good to have that checker behind. It really is useless, and it becomes a liability in the event of a hitting exchange. He does make his 4 point. Petko rolls a 4-3. He can hit, but you see the hitting 3s and covering 3s are duplicated. So he cannot hit and cover. Looks like hitting is the right play on the plus analysis and on plus. He is looking at it. That does leave a lot of blots, 4 blots, and 1 also on the other side. Look at what would happen if Victor rolls a double 5. He would hit 3 checkers and make a 3 point board. That's why it's scary. That's very scary. Look at how many gammons it loses. It does win more gammons too, and it wins more games. When your opponent is at an odd away score, like Victor is at 7 away, losing a gammon is not as big of a deal as if your opponent were at an even away score. Something to consider. Sometimes people don't think about these things, but when you're making a play that loses a lot of gammons, that's something you need to think about. You can play 2 off his 8 point. Makes his 5 point, slots his 4 point. Everyone's taking a sip of water. I'll take one too. It's nice to have these player cams. Bill Riles does an outstanding job. Right now he's at the World Championships in Monte Carlo, and he says he has a lot of stuff to look forward to. 2-1, safe play for Victor. Looking forward to that. 6-2 for Petko. That looks like the natural play, but it looks like XG says the other play is better. Let's see the plus analysis. And it is better to just move to the anchor 22-20 and play 8-2. It does leave 2 blots on the board, but it does provide some nice contact value. You know, now he can pick and pass with 5s and 4s. Only down 13 pips. It's close enough where you don't have to do that. He is looking at it. Even 7-1 is reasonable. He decides to come out, make his board. Victor's on roll. Cube is still in the middle here. 5-3. So this is what I was talking about. Victor can hit and continue. Now Petko is buried in the race. 4-1. He comes in. See, since he's so far back in the race, he should have stayed back, but you do still have some contact value with the 14 and the 13. Victor's looking to possibly double. Not quite a double yet. He rolls. He rolls a 4-2, plays behind safely, making his 2-point. Petko wants something good. 3-1 is okay. He can play on his side, maintain the contact. He's playing 8-5 and continues to the 4-point. Victor doesn't have a double again. He rolls a 5-4. He has to play safe. Clears his 8-point. Petko rolls a 5-2. Now, he can run 20-13, but he can also make his 2-point. 20-13 does give him mobility. They're both very close. 20-13 gives him some mobility, so he's able to continue playing from his midpoint on his next roll. 6-1 for Victor. So he can clear his bar point, but that leaves the checkers on the 13 and 14 disconnected from the rest of the army. He could just do that, break his 14-point, leave an immediate 3-shot. Turns out that's a much better play on the XG analysis. Petko rolls a 6-1. That was the advantage of playing to the midpoint. He can play down. Now Victor doubles, 21 pip lead in the race. He does have a blot. Still a take for Petko. There's a good book about these types of positions called Holding Game Guru by Stick Rice. I have a copy of it right here. Definitely recommend that one. Tells you when you should double, when you should take. Petko correctly takes. Victor rolls a 4-3. He just plays safe, 8-1. 6-5 for Petko. That's a big roll. So he can play 2 off his midpoint or 2 off his bar point. A lot of plays very close in the plus-plus analysis. 6-5 for Victor. He's able to bring one down, and he'll continue. He's looking at possibly going to 6-1. That saves a 6, but you really want to start bearing in the checkers. He doesn't have cube access, so he's going to have to win in the race. 6-5, Petko makes his 2-point with those checkers. Victor rolls a 2-1, not a good roll. He wants to just clear his midpoint, but he can't do anything safely with that. He's got to play behind somehow. Plays 2-1. He's going back, taking another look. Plays 4-1. Petko's down 17 pips. 20 pips now. Double 5. Good roll for Petko. Equalizes the race. Now it's even. So Victor does have an advantage. But Victor needs 6 crossovers to bear in all his checkers. Petko only needs 4. He plays 20-10 twice. Victor wants something big. In return, 2-1. Not good. Just brings in 1 to fill in that gap. Petko wants something big. 6-1. That's good. He gets 2 crossovers. Now both players just want big rolls. He gets 2 crossovers there. Now Petko is looking. He's behind by 3 pips in the race. So it's not quite a double. But it's always good to look at these things. He's counting the race. Obviously, when you don't have XG, it takes much longer to count the race. 4-2, he brings in 2 checkers. Double 6 for Victor, great roll. Brings in 2 checkers, bears off 2 checkers. That's a great roll. 4-3 for Petko, takes off 2 checkers. And 6-1, bears off 2 checkers. 4-1. Looks like I forgot that Victor already cubed. Now 5-3 for Victor, bears off 2 checkers. 5-1 for Petko, bears off 2 checkers himself. Still way behind. Double 6. Another one for Victor. Great roll. 4-1. Looks like it's gin. Yeah. Doesn't matter. 6-3 bears off 2 checkers. And that's gin. He resigns that game. Victor gets 2 points. He's up 6-3. 5 away, 8 away. Eight away is a good score because a double gammon would get you to 4 away, which is also a valuable score. 6-4. Makes his 2-point. Good idea when you're the trailer in a match. A lot of people don't like doing that, but it is correct. Even at tie scores like 5 away, 5 away. 6-5, Victor runs. Another 6-4. Now, splitting is better. Good, gives him some board coverage. 6-1 for Victor. I'm sorry, 6-1 for Victor. That's a good roll. He makes his bar point on head, sends another checker back. Petko comes in with a 2-1. Just comes into the 22 point. Sees some daylight. That means he can come out with a 6 from the 22 point. Victor rolls a 6-5, escapes his back checker to his midpoint. 4-1, Petko makes his 5 point. Now Victor's trying to just come home safely. He rolls a 6-3, he can bring 2 checkers down. That's what he does. Petko rolls a 6-2. So he anchors, and he'll bring a checker down. Victor rolls a 6-2, great roll. He gets to make his 4-point safety that blot. He's ahead by 17 pips, 2-1 for Petko, slots his 4 points. And with the ace, 8-7. Victor's looking at a possible cube. It's a borderline no double. But he's looking at it. He is up 14 pips in the race. There is that gap on his 5 point. But he's ahead 5 away, 8 away. So Petko would have a strong value of cube ownership. 5-3, he decides to roll, plays 13-8, and with a 3, he can bring another one down or play 7-4, brings another checker down. Turns out 7-4 was slightly better on the plus analysis. Petko rolls a 6-2, plays 13-5. Now Victor's on roll, thinking about the cube. Again, borderline, no double. He does have some good rolls to make his 5 point with 5s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. It's a lot of numbers. He rolls a 6-1. He has to play safe. 2 is 4 point and 8-7. Double 2. Now does he want to advance the anchor? He is down 21 pips. So he just plays on his side. Looks like it's really mandatory to play the 2 checkers, 2 back checkers up. Looking at the plus analysis. All the top plays have 22 to 24 twice. That's part of it. So he'll be down 13 pips after the play, which would be a borderline pass in a race, but it would be a take here. So he plays on his side. Victor rolls a 2-1. Good roll. He makes his 5 point. That was really strong. That just increased his winning chances a lot. Petko rolls a 4-1, makes his board. Now Victor's taking a picture. Whenever someone's taking a picture, you know they're thinking about doubling. So when that happens, you start thinking about whether you're going to take or not. You count the race. We have it here on XG, but that board is 40 pips for Petko in his board plus that 4, so that's 44. On the other side, he has another 44, so that's 88 and 26. That's 108, 114. Double 2, good roll for Victor, makes his 9 point. 6-4 for Petko, he brings 2 checkers down. Double 1, he just wants to come in safely. What's the best way to do that? Okay. He wants to keep his prime for a little bit longer. Petko's roll is cocked. He's going to roll again. And he rolls a 3-2. Small number. He gets the play inside. Victor rolls a double 5. He gets to clear 2 of his outer points. That gets him a lot of wins. He's not going to win a lot of gammons here. 6-2. Petko plays on his side of the board. Victor's trying to avoid a roll like 6-5. 4-2, good roll. Gets to clear his 8-point, brings the spares to nice places in his board. 4-3. Just escapes with one checker. Double 2. So double gammon would get Victor to the Crawford game, which would be really good. But I don't think he wants to shift. I think just taking 3 checkers off is the right idea. Take off 2 checkers, get 2 crossovers, and another one off the 4-point. Somewhat unstacks the heavy 4-point, which does not make a big difference, but it takes off a 3rd checker. 6-2 for Petko, plays to a 7-point. Victor is looking for big doubles. Doesn't get it. 6-2, 6 off, and 4-2. Petko rolls a 6-1. Can play on his side, waiting for Victor to possibly roll something bad, like a 6-3, double 6, double 5. He rolls a 5-3, bears off a checker. Still has some bad rolls coming up. 4-3. So this one, he can either try to save the gammon by running the back checker or play on the inside. They're all virtually tied. Every play is basically tied. On the plus-plus analysis, he does decide to run, trying to save the gammon. Victor is looking to win a gammon. 5-3, bears off a checker and plays 6-3. Petko is a favorite to save the gammon, even though he rolls a small 3-1. 6-4 for Victor, bears off 2 checkers. And Petko saves the gammon. 4-2 for Victor, bears off 2 checkers. Petko rolls a double 5. 3-1, bears off 2 checkers for Victor. 4-2, bears off 2 checkers for Petko. 5-4, bears off 2 checkers. And it's gin unless he rolls a double 6 or double 1 right now. No, he doesn't. So, Victor gets 2 points, gets to 8-3. 3 away, 8 away. Victor's an outstanding player out of New York, originally from Russia, and Petko lives in South Carolina, and he's originally from Bulgaria. He's Bulgari online, and Victor is Sokrat. So Petko opens with a 3-1, making his 5-point, and Victor rolls a double 2, makes his 4-point, and his 22-point. 5-2 for Petko. Oh, it's a 5-1. So he splits his back checkers and plays 13-8. 6-4 for Victor, points on head. 4-2. Petko dances. Can't cube at this score. 5-1. Just brings a spare down. He can split his back checkers relatively safely. Or he could have just played 22-16. Now 5-1 from the bar. Comes in and plays 6-5. Victor rolls another 5-1, 13-8, and now he anchors. Double 2. He anchors, and he can play 13-11 twice. I saw Victor in person at the Los Angeles Open. One thing I noticed is he was shaking his dice for a very long time. He doesn't seem to be doing that in this one at Chicago. He told me he's just meditating when he does that. 4-1. Just plays behind. 4-2 for Petko. Makes that blocking point, the 9 point. Nice point. But he does leave a blot. 5-2 does not hit. It's the wrong 7. 6-1 and 4-3 would have hit. He just plays 13-6. Now Petko rolls a 2-1. He wants to safety that checker, and he can play 8-7 or 6-5. 6-5, of course, is safer. Looks like XG likes the 8-7. I think I would have played 6-5 myself. 4-1, plays behind, makes his 3-point. 4-1 for Petko. That's a good roll. Makes his bar point a solid 5 prime. He doesn't like those 2 dilly builders on his 5 point, but it was a good roll. Victor rolls a 4-3, brings one down. Petko's looking to possibly double. It's a borderline no double on the XG analysis. Let's check the plus. Victor is ahead by 18 pips. So he rolls a 6-4. Goes all the way behind, 11-1. Now Victor rolls a 4-2. He's ahead in the race. He doesn't want to leave any blots or any direct shots. So just going to play 2 behind. But 13-7 is not terrible because Petko has a blot on his board. And Victor has a 4-point board. 5-4 for Petko. So he could just run. Leaves the 6-1. And Victor can hit with double 3s, double 1s. Doesn't get it. 6-5. He comes out. Not afraid. And Petko doubles. Good double here. He has some threats. He's behind in the race. If he wins a double, a single game on a 2 cube, he gets the 6 away, and a doubled gammon gets him to 4 away, 3 away. Very sensitive score. Victor has enough winning chances to take, and he correctly does. Now 2-1. Hits and continues. Victor's on the bar. He rolls a 6-4, comes in, and he could come out or he can play 8-2. They're both close. Just plays behind safely, keeps that anchor. 4-1. Petko can leap the prime, or he can stay and make his ace point. They're close. 2-1 for Victor. Had he stayed, that would have been more problematic for Victor. Now, looks like 3-3, but it's cocked. They are using the opaque dice. Really nice for live streaming feeds. Bill Riles does an outstanding job. 5-3. He just comes down. 2-1. Just comes in and makes his ace point. It's a close race. 6-2. Makes his ace point and comes in. Victor's on roll. Rolls a 6-4. The 6 is forced. He comes out. Now, Petko's looking to attack. He cannot with the 6-4, but does bring him ahead in the race by 2 pips. Looks like it's better to just clear the bar point and maintain some contact. 4-2. Victor stays back. He cannot move his back checker. Now Petko's looking to attack again. He cannot with a 6-2, but he clears his 8 point. Now it's like a 50-50 game. 6-1 comes out, Play 6 to 5. These kinds of things are thematic, so you don't leave that little gap, the semi-gap on the 5 point. 2-1 for Petko. Just play 7-4. Doesn't want to leave that gap there. 6-4, good roll for Victor. Comes into his 5 point. Now Victor's a 2-1 favorite. Petko rolls a 4-3, bears off a checker, but Victor's ahead in the race. Double 1 for Victor, bears off 3 checkers. Petko rolls a 6-5. That's a good roll for him, but still an underdog. 6-5 for Victor. Good roll for him. 4-3 for Petko, bears off 2 checkers. He would have liked to bear off a checker off his 5 or 6, but that's what he rolled. 3-2. Victor bears off 2 checkers. 2-1 for Petko, not good, but at least he can bear off 2 checkers. 6-4, good roll for Victor. Bears off 2 checkers off his high points. 4-3, that's not a good roll. Misses with both. He has to play deep into his board, leaving that gap on his 4 point. Now, Petko's going to need a miracle. 4-1 for Victor. Just bears one off the 5 point. 5-4. Bears one off and plays 6-2. Victor's not thinking about redoubling yet. 5-3, bears off 2 checkers. 5-1. Petko bears off 2 checkers. Now he's looking. Turns out to be a redouble. So here's what happens. If Victor redoubles, he would win the match on a 4 cube. So Petko would have an automatic redouble to win the match perfectly himself. He doesn't double. It was a borderline double, but I certainly wouldn't have doubled there. 2-1, not a good roll. Now Petko wants something good. Double 2. Okay, so he bears off 2 checkers and plays 5-1. Now it's not a double. Victor wants a good roll, 5-3. So he can play 6-3 and that off. So now only a 2-1 misses. Petko rolls a 5-1, bears off 2 checkers, but automatic redouble, and Petko passes. Now it's the Crawford game. 1 away, 8 away Crawford. 10-3 in favor of Victor. During the Crawford game, the cube may not be used for 1 game. That's called the Crawford game. That's the Crawford rule, named after James Crawford. Victor rolls an opening 3-1, makes his 5 point. Good start for him, trying to close things out. Double 3 is a good reply. That's the default play with a double 3 second roll. 2 up, 2 down. You can learn that in Bill Roberti's new book. 4-1. Either 2 up or up in 6-5. $13-8 looks natural because you want to unstack that midpoint, and you want to be careful against splitting against 10 in the zone. But you really need to get those moving with a 2-1 board advantage. Petko does roll a double 1, good roll for him. Makes the 5 point on head and his 9 points, so that makes a 4/5 prime, a broken 4 prime. 5-3 from the bar for Victor. He comes in with a 3 and brings a spare from his 13 to his 8 with the 5. Now 3-2 for Petko. You can hit twice, but that's not the right idea. Just comes down 13-8. Victor rolls a double 6. Okay, so he brings 2 down. And he brings all 4 down. Does leave those 2 back checkers stranded. 6-4. So he can hit loose with 13-3, or he can just make the 2-point, making a 3-point board, giving him a solid 3-2 board advantage. Looks like that's better. It's just going to be hard for Victor to escape his back checkers. He's going to need something good like that. 6-4, good roll. He gets to make his 18-point anchor. 4-2. So he plays 8-4 and nicely shifts 6-4. 2-1 for Victor. Now he'll probably just play 5-3 and 7-6. That's what he does. Petko's looking for a big double. Doesn't get it. Gets a 2-1. He can leave that shot because he has a 4-point board against a 2-point board, and Victor has a blot on his board. Double 3 for Victor. Good roll. Gets to advance his anchor and plays on his side. Now another 2-1. He can make his bar point. A lot of options with these small rolls. Makes his bar point. Now 4-2 for Victor. Just simple, something safe. Plays 7-1. Petko's looking for something good. That's not that good. 6-3. Plays 7-1. 8-5. Double 5. Great roll for Victor. Clears his 15-point to his 5-point. Now he's a big favorite to win the match. 3-1 for Petko. He's down by over 30 pips in the race. Just comes in to his 6-point, plays 13-10. Shouldn't be afraid to abandon his anchor ultimately. Another double 5 for Victor. Great roll for him. 5-1. Brings one down. And 9-8 to bear on his 3-point. I'm sorry, 10-9. Now 5-2. Victor bears off 2 checkers. 6-2 makes his 2-point. Victor rolls a 2-1. Can bear off 2 checkers. (2-1) for Petko. Just comes in with 8-5. Victor's a huge favorite here. 6-2. Bears off a checker with the 6 and plays 3-1. If he had played 5-3, he would have left blots with double 6, double 5, and double 3. Now Petko leaves with 6-3. He doesn't worry about leaving the anchor because gammon losses don't matter. Victor clears the 6-point with a 5-3. Now with the 5-1. He just makes his board. Victor rolls a 6-5, bearing off 2 checkers. Getting closer. Double 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes in. 3-1. Okay. Petko may still have some hope. 5-4. Just clears the 6-point. Or he can play 5-1. He's looking for a 4-1, 5-1, or 6-1 from Victor. Doesn't get it. 6-5. He concedes. Congratulations to Victor. That was a great match. I hope you enjoyed the match. We did do some different things this time. I did have the live XG feed, the player cam, score, the pip count, everything. Thank you to Bill Riles and Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video. They have really high quality videos check out their videos. I'll put a link in the description. Please do like and subscribe. That way you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Please place in the comments what you'd like to see in upcoming videos, and I'll work on that, and I'll see you in the next video.